We start with the baseball team.
Yeah.
And, Ike, you do have a sharp tongue, but I want to present to you that the national media does not seem to have as sharp a tongue about the Phillies. Let me present some numbers to you, because I was doing some reading this morning. ESPN baseball preseason power rankings come out before the season, and the Phillies are number 3 in their power rankings. Yeah. They also took votes of all of their experts, and the team that got the second most votes to win the World Series, your Philadelphia Phillies. They also took votes to see who the most likely team would be to win the National League. Second most votes to the Dodgers, your Philadelphia Phillies. So it seems as though the national media has a very high perception of the Phillies. Number 3 overall in baseball, second most likely to win the World Series. Are they overrating the Phillies, or are you more accurate?
No, I feel like they're overrating the Phillies. I mean, let's just be honest. This isn't about being a Debbie Downer. Like, if we want to do the whole, I hope they do great this year. Yeah, of course I hope they do great this year. They're our home team. They are. But if you're talking about what we actually feel, you mean to tell me when talking about the Phillies, you get the sense that this is the third best team in baseball? That this team has the second best chance in the National League to be in the World Series? You really feel that? That's what you feel? This fan base doesn't feel that. You're selling me numbers about baseball and ESPN's nonsense because they need somebody to sell with this sport going into the season.
Wow, now you're attacking the sport.
I'm just saying, that's what they do. I mean, that's what it is. And we are a rabid fan base that we're going to... Listen, you put our team out there either in a disrespectful way, or you put them out there in in such a high light, right? You're putting them up there with the other best teams. They think that's going to put a battery in our back. But guess what? It's not working. It's not working. And the number one guy with the battery in his back for just about every team in this city every year is me.
You
on
are
these airwaves.
Captain Philly.
It's not working with me. It's not working.
I've never seen you this way.
It's not working. It's just not working. And I'm going to tell you why it's not working for me. Because I don't feel like the team is exuding that type of confidence. They aren't saying, well, we're going to downplay it and we're being disrespectfully. We're being disrespected, right, by people who don't believe how good we are, how good we can be. We're going to go out and show them, but we're not going to talk about it. That's the Mary Had a Little Lamb way of just going about business and saying, you know what? If we do happen to be pretty good this year, we're going to let you guys know about it. But if we aren't, you guys didn't expect us to be very good anyway. So why are you so upset? And I got that from Casty. That's what I took from from something he said. Basically, if we do well, it's great. Nobody expects us to do well. If we don't do well, oh well, you guys didn't expect us to do anything anyway. So it's that mentality. I'm not going to sit here and give you a bunch of numbers and argue against what they hit, ERAs, all this bunch of nonsense that baseball people try to make this sport so complicated to understand, which it really isn't.
Oh, here we go.
But I'm just saying that's the reality of it, because that's why when you can't explain why the team isn't as good as it should be, my answer again is it's baseball. I never hear that it's football. I never hear that, it's just basketball. I only hear that it's baseball, right? Because you can't explain something that is obvious to everyone's eye. And so with this team, when we talk about them being overrated, I'm saying they're overrated from the standpoint of I don't feel it. I don't feel it with this team. And they're going to have to show it for me to feel it and get behind it. They're going to have to actually go out there and do it. And I'm sorry, they get out to a good start. Oh, well, it's a long season. It's baseball. They're going to have to do it in October. It's not my fault that they lost in the World Series. It's not my fault they blew games 6 and 7 at home against the Diamondbacks. It's not my fault you went out meekly against the Mets last year to where you basically killed anyone's excitement about baseball around here to have that level of optimism. Don't blame me because I won't fool myself right now into saying how great the Phillies are. It's the keep it real season. Buckle up.
215-592-9494. ESPN says the Phillies are the third best team in baseball. They have the second most votes to win the World Series, second most votes to win the National League. Is the national media overrating the Phillies? And I don't think they are. So I disagree with you, and I've been saying it for the last month. I don't think they are right behind the Dodgers, even though they're number 2 or number 3. I think there's a big difference between the number 1 team in baseball and the number 2 or 3 team in baseball. But beyond the Dodgers, we can sit and pick apart the inadequacies of the Phillies, but every other team in baseball, there is something wrong with every other team in baseball. We're all scared of the Mets. The Mets don't have a rotation like the Phillies have. We're all scared of the Braves, and the Braves, again, should be better than they were last year. They won't have the same injuries, but I don't see a more talented team with the Braves than I see with the Phillies. I look at the American League, and I see the same good but imperfect teams. The Yankees are good but imperfect. The Orioles are good but imperfect. All that. The Phillies, and the thing I would say about the Phillies over those other teams is the Phillies do have more postseason experience. They do have a lineup I at least feel like I know what I will get out of, and they do have a really good rotation. I don't think they're the favorite to win the World Series, but I do think they are right behind the Dodgers with every other good team in baseball. I don't think the national media is overrated.
Yeah. Well, listen, and that's all on paper. See, that's the problem. See, then I would take you back to last year. Were they not one of the more talented rosters in baseball last year?
Yes, and they won 95 games, and they won the National League East.
And they went out in 5 games.
They did. They
went out in 5 games. So that's what it's never been about how much talent they have.
It was 4 games.
It's never been about how much talent they have. They were the more talented team against the Diamondbacks. That's never been the case. The case is whether or not they play to that talent level when they need to late in the season. And that's what I don't believe, other than one player on the team. And that's Bryce Harper.
And Zach Wheeler.
Well, yeah,
you're right.
Pitchers, yes.
Everyday player,
yes.
right.
I'm just speaking more about the everyday players. Bryce is a red light player. He shows up in the postseason. So I don't necessarily concern myself with him. I don't concern myself with Bryce Harper when we're talking about chasing. That's why I felt like that was a wasted question on him. We're really wasting that question on him, asking him about his teammates and their issues at the plate. He doesn't have a problem with chasing. Right?
Right. I agree.
Like Bryce Harper is fine. It's the other guys. And I'm going to tell you this. This is the other thing that Rob Thompson, do something.
Well, I agree with you on that one.
Do something. Do something other than be likable. You're likable to your players. They love you. That's commendable, right? That's not a negative, but that doesn't help us when we're struggling. It doesn't help us when we're struggling. And for those that'll be like, well, you know what? He stuck with Casty every day last year when he was struggling. Well, you know what? It's easy to stick with Casty when the rest of the team is carrying all the weight. Because had he done that with Casty while they're struggling, then it doesn't make sense. So you can keep Casty in the lineup every day while he's struggling because they're still averaging 7 runs a game. They're only giving up 2 runs a game. They're winning in spite of Casty. So you got to tell me where it is that Rob Thompson has done something where he's made a move that made a difference. That made a difference. He waited forever to bench Bohm at the end. That didn't do anything. So when I say this to say this is how much pressure is on this team to win this year before it gets turned up on them. And he's going to be the first person everybody looks to as a sacrificial lamb. You got to give me something, Skip. You got to give me something, Skip.
Jack, do you think the national media overrates the Phillies?
No, and I love this energy from Mike. I love this energy. It's coming right off the Eagles Super Bowl. Everyone's peeking around, all the Eagles first people in this town. I can sense it. You're speaking for a lot of people when he does that. And I think this team has something ready for all the doubters. I like that they're being doubted. Here, I don't really care.
You're like jolly.
Yeah, just love it.
Doubt me.
Love it.
Doubt me.
Disrespect.
Doubt me.
Give me it. Like, feed me all of it. They're a great baseball team. They're a great baseball team.
Great?
They're a great baseball team.
Great?
Yes. They have a top 5 rotation, top 5 lineup, top 5 bullpen. That's great baseball. I don't know what to tell you. So I like that they're being doubted. I think they've heard it all off season. I think they heard it all
top
off.
Top 5 rotation?
Top 3 rotation. My bad.
Yeah, top 5 rotation.
Well, Then you said top 3.
Yeah, top 1. The best rotation in baseball.
Wow.
Best rotation in
Number 2
baseball.
rotation in baseball.
Okay. All right.
You got
Yeah.
Zach
Yeah.
Wheeler. So that means you're feeling pretty good about Aaron Nola
I
this year,
told you
right?
multiple times I'm in on Knowles.
Don't tell me what you told me. I'm just saying. I just want to get it on record. You feel good about
3
Aaron Nola.
points.
That means I don't want you jumping ship at the first sign of any troubles.
You're always with me. Can't jump ship.
Yeah, because you're quick to jump ship.
Well, listen, new information. I will not jump ship. I'll give him 3 starts.
In one hand, you're telling me they're the best rotation in baseball. Christopher Sanchez is about to go through his first year as a guy.
He's going to be the guy.
Well, okay. Well, we're about to see what it's like to have a spotlight on him. Zach Wheeler is the only one I don't worry about. Jesus? Really?
Yeah.
We're all in.
As long as he's healthy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. As long as Joel is healthy, he's
Well,
great, too. Yeah,
well,
I mean, like, yeah.
Don't enough with the Sixers.
Okay, well, I'm just
All
saying,
right.
as long as he's healthy, that's a part of the issue is health, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's every player.
Okay, well, we already got one guy headed to the IL for a while, and he got a bad back.
3 starts.
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot.
Okay.
6 starts.
So I'm just saying, our number 1 rotation, 2 guys are already iffy to me. Jesus is iffy. He's iffy. You're going to give me 2 or 3 years ago?
And Ranger.
Sure. Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
All right, 215.
And you guys are all in on Nola. The
Yeah.
two biggest, the two biggest skeptics of Aaron Nola.
I had
You're all in on Nola now, right?
Last year's top 11, I had Nola higher than both of you. I did.
Well, hold on. There's no way you're going to tell me you're more of a Nola guy than I am.
I'm not a Nola guy, but I think he's good.
On top 11, you had him higher than me?
I did.
I don't believe that.
I believe I did. Check the internet.
And you.
Everything.
He's not in my top 11.
Yeah, well, he's not a
exactly.
Nola.
I'm not a Knowles.
He's not a Nola.
Yeah.
All right, we do have a next question today. Today would have been Leonard Nimoy's birthday. Leonard Nimoy, who passed away in 2015, and he was Spock in Star Trek. So after your sports point today, we will ask you next question, and is your favorite science fiction character? Let's see how Jack gets this wrong. Jack, what is your favorite science fiction character?
Yeah, I think I get the biggest answer. Yoda. Next question.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yoda.
I had to take Yoda off the board.
Yep.
He's the GOAT.
Yoda's a good one. Ike, science
Yoda?
fiction. Yoda's a good one. It's a great one.
Let me work him over here.
Listen. I could say the sky's blue today, and Ike would say, you
Yeah.
really think that?
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you realized the type of show it's going to be today.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
And
realized.
I'm standing up today.
Well, I'm just saying, Yoda. You haven't even seen the original Star Trek.
Well, that's
No.
Star Wars. Yeah, you haven't even seen it.
No, I know, but I know
Oh, okay.
Yoda.
All
yeah.
right.
And Baby Yoda from the other show that was out.
Yes.
Also a GOAT.
Okay.
Yep.
That is kind of a cheap answer. You've
Well,
never seen the original Star
I
Wars.
Well, I Googled it.
Okay. All right. Don't Google if you're going to do science fiction character. Give your favorite science fiction character, Ike.
I'm going with the Predator.
Oh, the Predator's awesome.
Yes.
Now, youngins like Jack don't know the Predator.
Was actually.
I don't know who played him.
Yeah.
But it was a great flick.
Yes.
Schwarzenegger, Jesse the Body Ventura. So mine is my favorite science fiction character, Officer Alex Murphy, who ended up being RoboCop. I think RoboCop.
That name sounded familiar.
RoboCop is an underrated
Yes.
movie. I think people don't talk about RoboCop enough. I even
1 and
enjoyed
2.
RoboCop 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2 was good.
Yes, 1 and 2. All right, 215-592-9494. The national media says ESPN has the Phillies as the number 3 team in baseball, number 2 most likely to win the World Series. Do you think they are overrated by the national media? Ike says yes. And next question, they give us your favorite science fiction character.